it's 2024, so you know what that means. My 24 for 2024, my resolutions, bucket list, things that I want to accomplish in this year. Let's go. So this year I've tried to keep it more realistic. For those of you that want to know if I achieved my last year's resolutions or not, I already answered this in the last Q&A. You can watch it here. This year I wanted to keep it more realistic because I feel like in the last 4 years, what I've done is I go, aim for many things and then I end up doing 5. So this year I'm keeping it real and trying to achieve more. Number 1, you guys have heard this a lot, buy a car. Okay, I have moved away from Sherry Drive because I don't know if that's going to happen, but irrespective, I need a car. With, Ubers, as much as I find them convenient and I like to use them, they're expensive. A lot of the times it's really difficult with my parents getting older now. I've realized like when they're going for a doctor's appointment or something and you can't get a cab or they have to wait and I just feel really bad. I think I need like a car and driver, like just for life in general, because even with Mars, to take him to the vet, to, go back and forth, I don't know why I'm justifying this so much. I need a car, I'm getting a car. Okay, end of story. Number 2, freeze my eggs. Okay, we spoke about this last year. I did do all the research. I didn't chicken out. I just didn't feel like the right time for me because I know you have to give it like 2-3 months. I want to do it with like a calm state of mind, a clean body and, eat clean and all of that. So, it's definitely happening this year. It's not a question. I will be freezing my eggs this year. The question is just when in this year. Travel to South Korea, but with my K-drama club. Okay, now this is a long-standing dream. Since I launched the K-drama club, I had this idea of traveling as a group that wants to see things from a K-drama perspective, and we've actually talked about it a lot over the last 3 years, and I've spoken to a lot of travel vendors and like tried to make this happen, and I just wasn't happy with what people were offering and stuff. And finally, I feel like I might have a match, and it's happening. So if you're a K-drama fan, I'm going to link my K-drama club. It's on Instagram and it's on Facebook. We're more active on Facebook. There's a form there. Fill out the form if you're keen to travel with the club. It's going to be a trip about Korea, all things K-drama and all things amazing. Okay, next one is taking my parents on a holiday separately. Okay, so let me explain. My mother's 75th was like a couple of years ago, and we promised her either a giant party or a trip, and she was like, I want a trip and a night, and we always said we'll take her somewhere, and hopefully that's going to happen this year. Every year it kept like getting delayed, or she wasn't like sure on the destination, and now I think we kind of have the destination this year, so that's going to happen for her. And for my dad, I think it's going to be his 80th this year, so I feel like even he deserves a trip, and he loves to travel. Actually, I get my whole travel bug from my dad because he used to make us travel since we were kids, and I think he's slowed down a lot more, so I will have to pick a holiday that's appropriate, but I really feel like that's something I want to do. So take them both on individual holidays that match their interests and things that they like, and that'll happen this year. Next one is easy. It's simple and complicated. It's make more short form content. Okay, this is something I struggle with, because being a long form content creator for the last decade, I think long. I don't think in terms of like 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. I enjoy doing that as like for the fun, frivolous things, but I don't see it as like content because I just don't feel like you get a lot out of it. But the world is going short, and unfortunately, that is what's working. So I am thinking of maybe doing one long a week here and then doing multiple shorts in a week here. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. Or maybe doing more shorts. I'm not going to stop long form ever. I don't think I can do that because I truly enjoy doing this, like these chatty long videos. But maybe reduce them to accommodate more shorts, just to kind of balance things out and be across platforms, because I can even use that on Instagram and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments about that. And also what you want to see more of this year, like in terms of long form content, what do you really want to watch? Next one is very different to my previous years. Spend without fear and guilt. So I've only spoken about saving, investing. I realized when I went through my last few years, I was like, And I actually have never really touched my savings, touchwood, in the last decade. Like what I set aside to give, as I said, for my investments and stuff like that, it's moved around into other investments, but I've never really like withdrawn money to make a large purchase, because I've never really made a large purchase. And that's what scares me, like whether it's buying a car or, like I always live in fear of not having money, because I don't have any ancestral wealth. I have a family to look after, I have myself to look after, I have rent to pay. So I always feel like those savings need to be there for that time when something, I can't work. And yeah, I buy things like smaller stuff or shopping or whatever. I mean, like a big spend, I don't really do that often or, ever. But I do feel like I want to also be able to spend on things that I want to spend without guilt and fear always, or living in that fear of, oh my God, I won't have money. Oh my God, how will I pay my rent? Because I'm going to be living on rent for a long time. This is Mumbai and that's how life is. So yeah, to find that balance of spending without feeling guilty and also saving, you know what I mean? So the next one is a bit strange. I don't know how to word it properly, but it's like to do more with F1 and K-drama. Not together though. I mean like whether it's attending a race or doing more events that are F1 related, because those are like, I think, my two biggest interests and passions currently and over the past few years. Like I said, like taking the trip with my K-drama club, or doing more in terms of actually going to Korea more often, creating more content, and like stuff like that, like to kind of balance that interest and also create content and also do more with that interest. I want to kind of merge all three in some way or the other. I'm already doing that, but like better. Next one is learning to say no. I am very bad with saying no to people that I'm close to, okay? Like even if I'm overworked, I'm overburdened, and someone close to me asks me to do something, I will not say no, I can't, or I will not say no, I don't think I can do it. I will take it on and then, crib about how overburdened I am and how my life sucks and how I have to do this and I have to do that. Like a lot of times, Vaibhav always tells me, but why did you say yes? And I'm like, but how can I say no? So that's something I need to work on, where I can just say no and not feel like, oh my God, like, am I doing the right thing, wrong thing, feel bad. And I don't mean it as a general statement. I just mean in life that I have to kind of find that balance. I was a big people pleaser. That has gone down to a notch, one of my last year's resolutions. So hopefully I'll be able to say no more often. Have quarterly work goals. Okay, now what I feel is like with my work goals, I get really like hectic and I start the beginning of the year and I go crazy with, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to produce a show, I want to have a podcast, I want to blah, blah, and then nothing happens. I realistically want to do like quarterly goals where I feel like, okay, this is what I want to achieve in this quarter, and kind of hold myself accountable every quarter so that I can then move on or carry forward things to the next quarter and kind of close them. Because otherwise I feel like these open-ended, thoughts and dreams and career ideas just sit in my diary and don't go anywhere. So I'm changing things up. I'm gonna try a quarterly system this year and we'll update you on if it's working. Get fit again. This is now a general statement. It's not about running. It's not about, like, of course, running was my kind of choice of workout or sport or enjoyment, come therapy, come everything. But I wasn't active with it last year. I've started running again now, and I just hate the way my body feels right now. Like, I feel tired, I feel unfit, and like I have like niggles and pains everywhere. And it's just made me realize that I was this person that was incredibly fit like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like hardcore, like, like I could do a 10K in my sleep, or I could just like, go into any kind of workout and be like really involved and kill it. Now I'm just like, even a 2K is killing me. So I don't like that. Like, I've always been into sports. I've always been athletic my whole life. And as I'm getting older now, I've realized I really need to like take care of my body and feel fit again. It's not about like physically looking a certain way. That is something I take for granted because I have a very high metabolism and I don't tend to like put on weight, or I always look fit. Like, people are like, oh my God, how are your arms so ripped? This is from like not doing anything. I've always had so I take that for granted, which I feel is really sad. But like, my motivation is now to kind of feel amazing and get fit. stop having emotional attachment to things. Now, what do I mean? I'm a hoarder. I collect shit and I attach emotional baggage to everything, and I'll be like, oh, these are the shoes I bought when I was on this trip and have these memories, and this or this is the top that Vaibhav gifted me when we were dating, and it's been 3 years and I've never worn that top now in the last 10 years, but it's just sitting there. Like, a lot of people don't have any attachment to clothes and shoes and like belongings, and of course I mean like hang on to your pictures and your actual memories and things like that. I'm not saying ditch everything, but I'm saying emotional attachment to things that don't need emotional attachment, like electronics, clothing items, shoes, everything doesn't need to be like, and it's bizarre because like imagine I gave away like my wedding shoes, the shoes I wore at my wedding. They were not really like something I wanted to keep after a point, and I gave them away to someone to use, and I was very happy about it. But there are many things like that are 20 years old and that 10 years old and I'm sticking to them or holding on to them. So it's a weird space, but like I justify it with an emotional attachment and I don't give it away or get rid of it in terms of clothes or, you know, shoes and whatever. And I feel like it actually burdens you further because you have so much stuff then, and it's so hard to like clean and look after and, you know, all of that. So my aim is to let go of stuff and the emotional attachment. Eat less sugar. Okay, I would have said eat healthy, but I feel like I have toned down like my ordering in and stuff like that, and I've become slightly healthier than last year. But I do eat a lot of sugar still. Okay, like dessert is my biggest weakness, and what I mean is like eat less sugar is also like, I'm not saying I want to cut out sugar or not eat any desserts and all of that. I'm just saying eat in moderation. Like, I'm someone that has zero control. Like, if I have ice cream, I have a tub of ice cream. I don't have like a scoop of ice cream. If I have a dessert, I have the whole dessert. There's no sharing. I feel like that is something, I've always been this person, but as I age, it's not great for me and my body, and I feel like I really need to kind of stop that. So eat less sugar. Work more with rescue organizations and do what I can to help with adoptions for cats and dogs. I've done a lot this year, I feel, with organizations that I've worked with, but I would love to work with more organizations. So if you're an organization that's looking for support, you know, happy to help. I feel like I've kind of done a lot with World for All and a lot of the organizations where I have a connection, like Mars is from there. They've helped us with Sammy and Sammy's kittens and stuff like that. I would love to help other organizations as well. Also, I still have my Adopt Own shop highlight every Saturday. I post on my stories. So if you have a puppy or a kitten that you've rescued or you have it up for adoption on Saturdays, just post it on stories, tag me, I'll repost it. So that'll all go on, but I just feel like there's always more that you can do, and I will do more. So do something interesting with my hair. Okay, guys, I feel like I'm in a bit of a hair funk. You know, I've had like gone from here to here, here to here, here to here, like in the last 2 years. Color has been more or less like blondie, brownie, not really experimented much after the pink hair, which I did, which has been about 2 years now. I don't know, I'm just not loving it, but I just want to do something interesting and change things up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've played it safe for a couple of years, which is not really me. I go like shorter, longer, shorter, longer, shorter, longer. I'm just stuck here. I don't know, like I'm thinking of going back to my pixie or drastically changing the color. Like, I want to do something interesting. Give ideas in the comments. Use more of my clothes and shoes. What do I say when I mean this? I have a lot of clothes and a lot of shoes, guys, and 90% of the time post-pandemic, you will see me in a large t-shirt like this and shorts, okay? Human t-shirts have become my uniform. They are so comfy, yes, and I just feel like unless I'm going to an event or like going out on the weekend or something, I'm just dressed like this on a daily basis, and a lot of the times even when I'm shooting, I'm just dressed like this. I put on some lipstick, lip balm and earrings and I'm like, chalo, shoot karo and khatam. I want to dress better in my everyday life because I love dressing up, but I just don't do it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I'm someone who was a fashion girl. I was a model. I loved fashion. I just feel the pandemic has turned me into this only comfortable zone of this, and this is great. but also to like use more of my actual clothes and shoes and not just be living in this and my Birkenstocks. Eat one fruit a day. I think that's a realistic approach to have. I've actually had a lot of like, oh, eat more fruits, do this, do that. I'm someone that eats every fruit. I've never had a fruit that I don't like. Like I don't not like any fruits or veggies per se. This is something I want to do, like eat a fruit a day for my own self, for my health, for whatever. Just because I forget and then I just don't eat fruits. Many days go by and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten a fruit. So this is again me working myself into like a healthier Sherry and slowly but steadily changing, and I will eat a fruit a day. Do more DIYs. Okay, so I was such a DIY girl. Like, I mean, if you take 5 years ago, I did so many DIYs, right? Like, and they did so well on YouTube and stuff. I just feel like with the content becoming shorter and people not having attention spans, I've kind of gone off DIYs, except for I think the Christmas tree like decor that I did, and otherwise I really don't think I've done any major DIYs this year. But I used to really enjoy DIYing things, and I'm quite crafty, if I might say so. Let me know what DIYs you want to see more of, like more fashion DIYs, more like home decor, that vibe. Let me know. I want to redecorate that room, the other room, not this room that we're shooting in today. The other space, basically, I feel like that has been, the same, and it's very stagnant now, with the frames in the back as beautiful as it is and vintage as it is. I really want to kind of redecorate that room, like give it a full paint job, change it up, make different corners to kind of shoot, get rid of the unnecessary furniture, stuff like that, which I feel like that room has been the same for like over a decade now, and it's time for change. I know you're nostalgic about it, so am I, but like it'll be better. Read more books or listen to more audiobooks. Okay, this our best of on coupling that we did, our best of like 2023. You can check it out here. I'll link it here. Made me really realize if Vaibhav hasn't read a book in the whole year, that's really scary, because out of the two of us, he was like an avid reader. Like even I used to read maybe one a month or something, and I really enjoyed like just reading. But now with this so much happening in life and like so many things that you end up just watching content online and nobody's reading, and I feel like for me that was a real big eye-opener and shocker, and I really definitely feel like that's a habit I don't want to completely get rid of. So definitely read more or listen to more audiobooks, whatever happens, but more books. The next one might seem random to a lot of you, but to me it means something. Wear more lipstick, okay? Again, I feel like I was someone that really loved lipsticks. I did the 30-day lipstick challenge, if you remember. Should we do one again? Maybe that's a good way to kind of start this, possibly. Let me know. And I just feel like I have so many lipsticks, and I loved wearing lipstick. Like it was the one thing I never actually didn't like about makeup, or like even if I didn't wear anything else, I'd wear lipstick and maybe just curl my lashes, and that was good, I have gone back into it with darker tints and stuff. Like this is like a more lipstick tint that I'm wearing even today, but I just feel like it looks so lovely and I really like it. But I've gone into that zone of going makeup free in the pandemic and never kind of gone back, you know what I mean, like fully. And I just was thinking to myself, why don't I wear a lot of lipstick? Like last week when I wore some lipstick and I really liked the look of it, and I was like, why have I completely gone off this? So that is something I want to do more of. Delegate more. This is something I'm terrible at. I've always been terrible at delegating. I like to be in control of everything and everyone close to me. I can't delegate. I feel like I will do the job better than someone else in my head always, and that's a terrible habit, and I feel like I need to break it, because it's like overburdening yourself. Like even when you've delegated something, you're like in that zone of trying to micromanage it. And I think whether it's with my pets, with Sammy, with Mars, like I want to do everything, which you can't do. Like you have to learn to delegate and have to kind of learn to ease up and be like, okay, it's not on my plate, it's on that person's plate, and like let them do it. And that's something I need to work on. Wake up earlier. Okay, so this is something I used to do like crazy when I was running. I would wake up at 6 a.m, go for a 10K run, and be like, yeah, by like 9:30, like I was like, oh, I've had a bath, I've eaten my breakfast, I'm ready to go shoot. And I used to accomplish so much more, I feel, when I woke up earlier. Now I've kind of shifted gears into staying up later and making the nighttime me time, which is watching content time and like chilling till 1 a.m. or 1:30, and then obviously I cannot wake up before like 9 a.m., 9:30. I just feel like that really slows you down, because then now like when I wake up at 9:30, then I take Mars for a walk. If I'm here, if I'm there, I like sit down and have my chai, and Sammy's in my lap, and then like that goes on. Then I eventually do my meals and work, and by like lunchtime I've not accomplished a lot. So I feel like I really want to kind of change that to waking up earlier, getting fit. It's all in sync. It'll all work very well together. Wear more local brands. Okay, now this is something I've tried to do a lot more in terms of my Vocal for Local series, or even on Instagram. I just feel like there's so many amazing homegrown brands doing really cool things, and we're still stuck in our heads with high street and just going to buy things, which is also cool. I'm not saying that it's not. But yeah, there are a lot of downsides to it. There are also pros to it. It's also cheaper and easier and more accessible and all of that, yes. But I feel as someone that works in fashion, I'm very privileged and lucky to get a lot of stuff from different homegrown brands, and I should wear it, and I should kind of promote them and help them as much as I can, because they are doing really cool stuff. The last, but definitely not the least, this is one of the most important ones, is stop doom scrolling on Instagram, okay? So I made a very conscious decision last year to not be on my phone when I'm out or going for a meal or with people and stuff, and I'm very good with that. But when I'm alone or when I'm at home, that's where the issues arise, where I just start and I'm like this. I start with watching one reel, and then I've seen 100, and I don't even know where the time has gone, and you waste so much time like that. And I'm a content creator, and I'm saying this because it just sucks you in, right? And you just have no control. And I realized then I'm like, oh my god, I've spent so many hours just doing this and consuming stuff that I did not need to consume, where I could have been reading or I could have been doing something else. Stop doom scrolling and like be more aware and do other things, because I need to break this pattern. So guys, that is my list, my bucket list, my resolutions, things I want to achieve in 2024. As I said, I've tried to keep it real this year because I want to achieve more and do more, and I think this is a realistic list. Comment below with your list. I know for a lot of you 24 is a lot, so maybe 5 things, your 5 resolutions, 5 things that you really want to achieve this year. I want to see them in the comments. Maybe I can replace some of my frivolous ones with yours if they're better. Let's hold each other accountable, and let's try and achieve some stuff and have an awesome sauce year. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and as I said, comment below with your top 5 things that you want to achieve this year, and I will see you through the year. See you guys. Bye.